Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've been sent an RTI Profit 3 or the P3 over from High Pressure Pneumatics to do a little bit of review and show you guys this thing today. This is a pretty sweet gun. It is known for being a pretty long range gun. It's got an RTI proprietary barrel in there, and I believe it is unchoked, which is great for slugs, but it can also shoot pellets. Today, we're going to be shooting these JSB knockout slugs 25.39 because that is what High Pressure Pneumatics sent over. So I have not really messed around with other slugs and stuff. So we're just going to test. Basically, this is an out-of-the-box review. Guns out of the box. Slugs are just whatever was included with it. We're going to see how well it shoots them. And forget the close range stuff. We're going out to 150, 200, and I also have a target at 100 yards just for a baseline there. Now, it is pretty cold out. It is about 45, 50 degrees. You can sort of see your breath, so that is a detriment to high-performance air guns. It's going to knock down the performance a little bit in the cold, so keep that in mind. Also, I have not done any tuning. This is just straight out of the box. So we've got the gun here. Very svelte and sexy gun. I've wanted to get my hands on one of these for quite a while. And we've also got the Arken SH4J Gen 2 scope. That's the new one from Arken. It's got the Japanese glass. It's very nice. It also has a zero stop in it, which is pretty easy to use. It'll parallax down to 20 yards. So for your closer range hunting, you can get away with that as well. And the gun is really good looking and it handles well. So of course, we're going to show you what's in the box. So we'll roll that next. Okay, as always, first things first, let's see what you get in the box, or in this case, the case. So you do get this nice case with 4 buckles on it. Inside, we have the gun and 1 magazine. Now, if you order this from High Pressure Pneumatics, you're going to get a little bit of special treatment here because you're going to get a chronograph report. Looks like we're shooting 25.39 grain redesigns just for testing at about 980, 970 FPS, somewhere in there. Good. You also get a little test shot card, and this looks like it was shot maybe at 50 yards just to put a couple slugs through the gun, make sure it's working. And you're also going to get your manual. Make sure you guys are reading your manuals for high-end products, especially $2,000 air guns, so you don't screw it up. All right, so that's what you get in the case. Now, this is a really slick gun. It does have a 1/2x20 threaded muzzle with a end cap protector on there, so you can put any moderator on there that you want. It's got a, I believe it's a 580cc bottle, and it is 300 bar, so you can fill that baby all the way up to 300. Externally adjustable reg, very nice. Fill nipple, standard fill nipple, we always want to see that. You've got a cross bolt safety on this thing. Okay, other things I noticed about this gun, it does have your trigger adjustments right here, so you got your spring and your brake, and then the hammer adjustment is back here. It has an adjustable cheek piece as well. And then a cool thing about this gun, those 2 pieces right there can be removed and replaced with big plenums. So I will flash up on the screen the maximum plenum volume that you can put on this thing. I'm not sure off the top of my head what it is, but pretty slick gun. I think these are very svelte. They're kind of a minimalist design. It has a left-hand cocking handle that is not something I don't think you can put it. Looks like you cannot put it on the right side. And I was ghosting this trigger, and it is pretty nice. So next, I'll mount a scope up on this thing, and we'll get to shooting it a little bit. So we're going to be mounting up an Arken SH4J Gen 2. This is HD glass. It's a really nice scope. And so this is what it's going to come with, really nicely packaged. Really nice scope. And looks like High Pressure Pneumatics already has the rings on it for me. So you'll notice those are not adjustable rings. So there's one thing I forgot to mention. See that scope rail, these 2 adjustment points right here? You can loosen those, and you can actually adjust that scope rail to cant for quite a bit of MOA. So you don't actually need adjustable rings for this gun. You can do it right there on top of the gun with the scope rail, which I think is a pretty cool and innovative feature. Everybody should honestly be doing that. So I'll get this mounted up, and then we'll go ahead and show you what it looks like with it mounted, and we'll do some shooting at various distances. Now that we've got it all set up, we're going to actually give you a closer look at this gun, because there's a couple things I want to show you about it that are quite unique to this gun, and really nice features that it has. All right, come on over here and I'll show you this gun close up. So this thing, let's get it in the light here. It has a 300 bar tank, so we've got it filled almost to 300 bar here. I did take a couple of shots. The gun also has a scope rail on it that through these 2 points, it's actually adjustable for 20 to 150 MOA, so anywhere in that range. And also on the other side here, I don't know if you can see that little adjustment screw. If you have this somewhat tight, not fully tightened down, you can make micro adjustments to that cant via this screw and keep tilting it more up. So you'll never run out of range in your turret with this gun because you can have that MOA cant built in and adjust it as you see fit. And you'll notice we have the Arken rings on here. We do not have adjustable scope rings. You don't need them on this gun, which is great. Additionally, this gun has a cheek piece that can flip from left to right. So right now I'm a right-handed shooter, so we've got it on the left side of the gun, but you simply have the screw hole there and there, and you can just simply swap that to the other side. So this is actually a great gun for left-handers because the charging handle is on the left side. Now that is something that you cannot change over to the right side, so I've been sort of getting used to that. But if you're a left-handed shooter, that's going to be really nice. Also, I may have mentioned it before, there's 2 plugs right here. You can put 2, and I believe they're 60cc plenums each, to just make this thing have a gigantic amount of plenum space in there. And they sort of act as like a bag rider too, and how they stick out like that. So very cool. Next, and this is very key. This tank, if you go out on this regulator all the way until the air stops and then use the bleed screw to vent what's in the gun, you can actually unscrew this whole tank filled. So that means you could potentially have multiple regs and multiple tanks all filled. And let's say, you know, you were going hunting or something, you could have a filled tank in your backpack, pop it on, take your Allen key out, adjust the reg up, and now you've got another fully charged tank for your gun. So that's kind of cool. Or if you just need to do maintenance and you don't want to dump your whole tank, then, you know, having the ability to drain what's in the gun, take the tank off, leaving the pressure intact, is your compressor is going to be thanking you for that. So I do have an FX. This is just the hollow FX moderator on the end of there, but inside it I have the Impulse Air baffle kit from them, which he was nice enough to let me have one of those at Pyramid Air Cup. So I found that it works pretty good. And let's take a closer look up at the glass too here. So I don't think I mentioned before, it does have an illuminated reticle, and it'll parallax down to 20 all the way to infinity. Really nice audible positive clicks there, and it goes to 24 power and then all the way down to, I believe it is 6. Yep, 6. So very nice. And then the Arken mounts even have your torque values on there. So when you use a Wheeler torque wrench like I do, I'll put a link in the comments for that. Perfect tool, one of my best tools. I can just set it right to 18 inch-pounds and done. So additionally, what else can we say? This gun has a butt plate that's removable. You can adjust these 4 screws and put this butt plate up or down. We're just going to leave it how it was stock. It's got a hammer adjustment in there too, and this gun is not like other guns. It has a balance valve in it, so the hammer adjustment is not what you're used to, and I've found that out myself. So you're going to have to read up on some tuning, but out of the box it seems pretty good. I think there's also another vent screw under here somewhere, I've read, but that's basically the buttstock, and it just goes back on like that. Okay, very good. What else? Oh, it has some trigger adjustments. So you have like a sear engagement adjustment and a spring adjustment. I have not messed with those. I found the trigger to be pretty decent out of the box. And then one other cool kind of thing I noticed, it has like this little slug holder insert that goes in the grip. I think you can put slugs in there and then just keep some extra on hand. The magazines hold 11 rounds. And let me do a cutscene right here and I'll show you how to load these magazines. To load this magazine, it's kind of like an FX magazine, except there's no covers on it. So what you're going to want to do is basically grab one of your slugs or pellets and rotate this against the spring pressure, and you can see that little stopper in there. Basically it'll stop once it's fully rotated, and you just put your first one in and that's going to hold it, and then you can go ahead and load the rest of the positions. Now there are O-rings in there which hold the slugs. I've heard in the past people say that the older RTI magazines can eject slugs out the back, but I'm not having that problem. As you can see, it's totally, seems to be totally fine. So we'll load this up and do a little bit more shooting here. All right, so now that I've told you enough about the gun and scope that we're using here, which, by the way, are all available from www.myhighpressureair.com. So again, this gun was sent over by the nice folks at High Pressure Pneumatics, and we're going to go ahead and shoot it. So first, we're going to shoot it at 100 yards. Then I've got a 4-inch plate out at 150 and a 5-inch plate, I believe it is, at 200. Now, it's cold and it's somewhat windy, so we're going to do the best we can, but I want to give you guys an honest look at, can this gun do the long range that people say it can? Spoiler alert, it can. All right, now the fun part, shooting. So I've got a target out there at 100. Let's start there. I have not looked at any ballistics or dope for this. I know more or less the trajectory of a 22 slug at about 980 FPS, which is where we're shooting this. So I'm going to go ahead and dial this for I think 8 MOA should do it at 100 yards. We'll go ahead and zoom in all the way so you guys can hopefully see the quality of that scope. I've got my side shot mounted up here with minimal configuring, but I think it still looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and record. Let's see how this thing is shooting at 100. And again, cold weather, pretty windy, right out of the box, 0 tuning. All right, so let's see here. Got that rolling. Let's go ahead and make sure we're set. Good. All right, looks like I'm a little out and to the left there. Oh, maybe that was a flyer because that one was right about on. Okay, that was a bullseye. Getting some wind out there. Ooh. And I am not sure this gun likes the JSB knockouts. Actually, I was talking to somebody the other day that told me it does not like them. But that's what came with the gun, so that's what we're shooting. Your mileage may vary. So definitely pick up some different slugs and see what it likes. Okay, so we're shooting reasonable enough. All right. Let's see if we can make some hits out to the 150. Which I assume is probably about, I don't know, 16 MOA-ish. And we'll go ahead and adjust the parallax there. All right, so there's the 150 out there. Can I hit in first shot? Oh, that was a little off to the left. There it is. Oh, and I'm out. All right, so we'll do mag 2 and trying to hit that 150 out there in the wind. You can see pretty good wind. I don't know where that hit. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. 3 in a row. 4 in a row. I think I missed that one. It's pretty intense wind out there. Smacking it, man. This thing has got quite a bit of energy down there. And I pulled that one a little hasty. Oh, I hit the pole. There it is. Okay. So that was mag 2. I'll reload this and then let's send some all the way down at 200. So again, guys, though, 0 tuning, rough 0 at 50, probably some slugs that I don't know if they jive with this gun, but we're going to see what we can do here. So 200 is next. We're going to go ahead and try and hit at 200, get the scope cam rolling. That should be about 32 MOA. So it looks like this has 20 in one revolution. So that's 20, 30. Let's go I think 31. Lucky 11. We'll leave it at that. I think that's probably going to hit. Now, it does look pretty windy back there. It's hard to tell where I'm even hitting. That's so far away. I think I'm actually high. There it is. Okay. I might be way high. Okay, there it is. Okay, I think that's what it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, okay. So we can definitely hit 200 with this thing. When you get one of these in your hands, definitely do a little bit of reading about tuning and try some different slugs to see what it likes. But overall, to be able to pull a gun out of the box and be able to hit 150 no problem multiple times in a row and be able to hit 200 is pretty good. Let's just see, can I hit it more now that I kind of know where the hold is? And again, zero looking at a dope card, zero looking up the ballistics, just living in the moment, you know? So I'll load this mag up again. And what is this, the fifth one? The fifth mag? Let's see how we're doing on pressure after 5 mags. Or 4 mags. All right, so I'm at 200. So in about 100 bar, you're gonna get like about 5 mags or so. That's pretty good. The gun has a balance valve, which is apparently pretty efficient. I'm just a total noob about actually tuning one of those, so I've kind of messed a little bit around with the hammer, but it hasn't had like the same effect as it would with like an FX gun or more normal poppet valve guns. So, okay, let's see. Hopefully the wind will calm down here for a minute. Let's see if I can hit that again. I think I was holding right about like there. There it is. All right, so far we're up to 1 in a row. Oh, 2 in a row. Ah. There it is. Pretty windy back there. Also, I'm shooting over a river, which is probably a different temperature, obviously, than the air, so that's probably having some sort of effect. There it is. Man, I can just hear that shredding through the reeds back there. There it is. There it is. Nice. Okay. So that was most of the shots in the magazine hitting, or a good amount of them. So I'm pretty happy with that, especially straight out of the box. So that is the RTI P-3. Pretty impressive gun. The scope glass is really nice on that Arken as well. So just, this is what you can do out of the box with a gun like this. So pretty impressive. And I'm sure it will be only more impressive if you actually tune the gun and found the right slugs for it. So anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. So I thought I was done shooting, but we'll give you guys a little bit more content here. I did find some 218 diameter Gen 2 Javelins 23 grainers in the shed. I noticed that these are actually 216, and I'm thinking this gun doesn't like the 216 and maybe just these slugs. So I put a bunch of those Javelin slugs through the gun, and it was dime size grouping at 50, which was much better than the knockouts. So we're going to repeat the whole thing with those Javelin slugs. So I've got a full mag loaded here. We'll shoot a couple down at 100 just to see if we're doing better. And then I actually did look up more or less the dope, so I might be a little bit less guessing with these ones on the further targets. So we'll go ahead and shoot the 100. And that should be like 8 MOA. So I'm just going to dial for 8. All right, so we see where all those other shots are. Let's see. I'm almost wondering if I should try and shoot one of these targets, but we'll just, how about this? There's some meat on the target right there. I'll try to shoot that little red dot. Okay. Okay, so way better grouping. Let's just do a 5-shot group. All right, that one I kind of pulled and twisted the rifle, but let me see if I can take a good shot here. Okay, so that's much better. So let's go ahead and take it out to 150. It should be about 18 MOA. All right, we can see there is plenty of wind. Okay, smashed it. Smashed it. Smashed it. Okay, this is just easy. Smashed it. Okay, good. Now, 200. How many do we have left? 2. I think I'm going to need more than 2. Hopefully we can hit on most of these. But right there, like, you can see these are a better match for that barrel than the knockouts were. So I'm glad I had these in the shed. Even though we were hitting quite a few at 200, I felt like maybe we could just do a little bit better. But I think this gun likes the 218s better than 216s for sure. And these are also a couple grains lighter. So hitting 150 was effortless. So we're going to go to 200, and I think we said that was like 32 MOA. So there's 20, there's 32. Maybe there'll be a little guesswork here because I used chair gun, so not sure. All right. And we do definitely have some wind out there. Here's a Hail Mary. Not sure where that hit. Oh, there it is. I might be a little high. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, so pretty easy to hit. Wow, very easy. Pretty much every shot. All right, so that is pretty dang impressive with the Javelin slugs. So it just goes to show you, when you get a new gun out of the box, try some different slugs in it. For this one, 23 grain Javelins. Very nice. So thanks for tuning in to the end if you guys watched. And yeah, you can, again, check out all of this equipment, gun, scope, everything you need, side shot, scope cam, all of that at High Pressure Pneumatics, www.myhighpressureair.com. And mention your boy AirShootist in the order comments, and you might find yourself with some candy in your order. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.